When you're a Campbell County Camel, every day is hump day, not just Wednesday. But when you're this guy, you can always say you're a 2017 120-pound state wrestling champion. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
I'm Brady Wells.
And, of course, Campbell County High School 2017 state champion. Kind of walk us through, Campbell County, of course, has a tradition. How do you find wrestling, though?
Well, I started at a very young age. I had my dad's childhood best friend was Coach Gray.
Okay.
He kind of got us involved with it.
That makes sense.
My very first year, I didn't win a single match. I was struggling. And then after that, just caught on and took off.
What year would that have been, just out of curiosity?
I was probably 3 or 4.
Okay,
so.
well, I mean, come on, 3 or 4. Yeah. Sorry, we're not winning state championships when we're 3 years old here at Campbell County. It's might as well go ahead and just cancel the rest of the career, right? No, I'm kidding. So, but you start at an early age. Northern Kentucky does have I guess a lot more wrestling, if you will, a lot more, maybe not necessarily now as of this filming, but back then, a lot more like elementary teams, clubs. Ohio is, right across the river. You got, Cincinnati, and that's a great hotbed for wrestling. So a lot more opportunities to start young and compete against kids that aren't, neighbors, if you will, because that's a lot what we're seeing nowadays is, I guess teams, they're traveling, but they're starting kids against kids that they know, right. That way they don't, lose the drive. They don't get smashed by hammers. They don't, just lose the drive for it right off. They have camps like a week long. They'll go out, wrestle their buddies. Oh, everybody high five, just to get them used to the sport. Right. And that's, a lot of kids are sticking with it that way. But, man, up in this area, I mean, there's no off days up here. No. You know what I'm saying? There's no days off, this is going to be an easy match. You got to bring it from the time you're 3 till the time you walk out the wrestling room for the last time. So you start at about 3 or 4 years old. I guess you wrestle all the way through elementary, middle school. You get to high school. And let's kind of talk about your high school career. 2014, 106 pounds, 4th place. You get to the semifinals and you're wrestling David Hernandez, Henry Clay. He gets you with a 5-0 decision. You go to the 3rd, 4th place match against Saul, and he gets you 10-0. But there's no shame in losing to Saul. I think Saul was a 3-time state champion.
Yes.
15, 17, and 18. And David goes on to make it to the finals, of course. He wrestles Woodford County, Tucker Hurst. Yep. And we've done that video. It's on the channel. The review for that video is on the channel. So, man, as a freshman, 4th place, maybe not necessarily what you were shooting for on top of the podium, but at least you're on the podium. Yep. You can say, I can only go up from here, right?
Exactly.
We're not dropping down.
So we'll see how it goes.
Again, another one of those wrestlers out of Northern Kentucky. Ryle, a pretty decent wrestling program in their own right.
They really
got
are.
2 wrestlers in the finals tonight.
Yeah, and they've got a real strong program. They have a very strong program.
2015, 113 pounds. You're wrestling Jorge Vega, but we're going to be getting with Jorge as well, so you might get to see your 2015 match on here.
Heck yeah.
In a little bit. But Jorge, 3-time state champion.
It's not a good look for me.
Yeah, well, Jorge's a heck of a 2-time state champion, 2013, 2015, and also Fern Creek that year won the team title. So yep. Fern Creek had a heck of a team that year. You get to the finals, like I said, come up a little bit short against Jorge, but you're moving up spots on the podium. 2016, 120 pounds, 3rd place. You get to the quarters. You run into Saul again, Saul Irvin from Union County, and you drop down. Saul lost on being a 4-timer to Dallas Oshenbein from North Oldham. Who, Dallas goes on to most outstanding. So, I mean, your path all 3 years so far, you've run into hammers.
Yes.
I mean, you've run into legendary wrestlers in the state of Kentucky.
In the 3rd place match, Campbell County's Brady Wells scored a win over Woodford County's Tucker Hurst.
Your state
2017 knows your year. It's the year of Brady Wells. So from that junior year when you leave the horse park until you're back there again as a senior in 17, what are we thinking? Like, I'm not leaving this building. They're going to have to drag me out with the Lexington Fayette County SWAT team if I don't win it. What are you thinking? Like, what's the mentality, the mindset, if you will, of this is my year?
I just had a fire under my butt. I knew having such a great career from elementary school all the way up to the point I'm at now.
Right.
You know, I had two state titles in middle school, a couple in elementary. So I knew at that next level I had to have at least one state championship. So
Yeah.
and you know, I had 1 year to do it. 1 year left to do it. So
There's it's the year it escapes me, but it was in a NCAA college football game for like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, whatever that was. I can't wait for that game to come back out, by the way, on a personal note. But there was when you started the game, it was talking about like the announcer, Brad Nessler, does a voiceover, and it shows like scenes from different games, different teams, different stadiums. And it's seniors approach this season with their last chance at immortality. And I'm like, that's such a great soundbite, a great clip for people that have come so close as freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. Maybe even in middle school make it to the high school state at middle school. No one knows as a senior, this is it.
yeah.
That all that sweat that I had in this room, it still smells like it smells like a mat room. In case you can't smell it coming through the microphone, we need to create smell-o-vision, because it's the mat room at Campbell County does have the smell of a mat room, trust me. But you know, all those miles you ran, all those matches you've had, all the days in the weight room, all the camps, everything that you went through, this is it. I mean, this is the payoff. I mean, there's nothing else after this. Maybe college, but being able to say, I did it for Campbell County. Yeah. I did it for my team. I done it for Coach Bancamper, the rest of the coaching staff. I done it for me. This is it. And sometimes that fire under the butt can motivate you, can't it?
Yes, and it did. It did. So
let's go through your 2017 bracket. The first round you're wrestling Cooper Philpott from North Hardin, and that fire is burning hot because you pinned him in 18 seconds.
Yep.
So get in, get out, let's go, right? The second round, fall over Zach Mans from Franklin County, 2 minutes and 23 seconds. So that fire's still burning hot. Now, you get to the quarters. When I got to referee the state tournament in 2020, the veteran referees come up to me the night before and the morning of, and they was like, the toughest matches you're going to have all tournament are going to be the quarterfinals.
Yep.
Quarterfinals is where you're going to separate yourself from, average referee to great referee, because that's the toughest matches. And my quarterfinals were a lot tougher than my semifinals I got to do and my finals match. But you're wrestling Jordan Bates from Boyle County. You win a 3-0 decision over Jordan. And in 2019, Jordan goes on, he wins 138 pounds. So you had a heck of a finals match, or a quarterfinals, I should say. Had you wrestled Jordan before?
I've never seen him. I didn't even know him.
Didn't even know Boyle County was a place, right?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But hats off to him, because he wrestled one heck of a match.
Do you remember how you scored those 3? If you don't, that's
Not
fine.
off the top of my
okay,
head.
I couldn't find it. I just didn't know. Then you get to the semifinals. You're wrestling Nate Wheeler from St. Xavier, 2-0 decision. So the fire's still burning, but you got to be thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in for it here. Had you wrestled Nate before?
I have, and I've gone through multiple camps or training with him and a lot of the St. X guys.
I got you. Yeah, St. X and Campbell County, man, those two are. When you see those two at a wrestling meet, you're okay. This is a wrestling meet. This isn't just a Saturday in a gym. This is a wrestling meet. Wow, Campbell County's in the gym. There's no mistaking that purple and gold color.
Correct.
I mean, you just know that it's like, okay, it's time to tighten it up a little bit here. Campbell County's in the house.
And when I was still in high school, Coach Van Kemper, he had told us, he talked to a coach from up in Ohio, and the coach said, my guys hate when they see the purple bus come in.
I believe that.
It's a bunch of purple. My guys hate it.
I believe that, no question. Now, Nate goes on in 2019, 145-pound state champion. So you wrestled back-to-back 2019 state champion. So, I mean, your road was not the easiest. And Nate got third place that year. So, I mean, you have earned this 2017 being where you are in the finals. You get to the finals, you're wrestling Brody Haverstick from John Hardin. And we're not going to tell you the score. We have the video, of course, and we're going to watch it. Have you seen it in a while, or?
It's been a little over a year.
Okay. So we are going to get our computer set, our TV set. We're going to go back to the Horse Park 2017. We'll see you guys there. 2017 Kentucky State Wrestling Championships, 120-pound weight class. Brady Wells of Campbell County versus Brody Haverstick of John Hardin. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go. You got Mike Ford on the whistle. Garrett as the assistant. You're wearing that traditional 1980s Campbell County singlet.
Found it in the cages.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody I was wearing it besides my parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I, right before the match, I pulled my warm-ups off, and Coach B said, "What the heck are you wearing?"
So that is a true traditional. That's not one that was made. That's an original.
That is
wow.
an original.
I did not. Okay. Wow. I didn't realize that. So what's your go-to takedown here? What are we looking to do from neutral?
Well, I loved my ties. I like to think a very slick slide by or snap drag.
Right.
And I was super tall for my weight class, so my shots, I wasn't very good with getting in on legs and powering through.
Yeah.
So I used a lot of the ties and used my leverage as advantage.
It's all right.
But he was quite a bit shorter than I was. He was real low to the ground, so I was trying to keep my legs protected and went down to that knee quite a bit, which I didn't do very often. Just minor adjustments I had to make to.
Yeah, and that's, when you get to this stage, you're in the state championship. You know what you do. You know what you're good at. You know what you're not good at, and there's no reason to change up what you do. Fighting off a single. Able to fight it off
This is my
though.
favorite part of the match. Right here.
Oh, nice job. So you get your two. End it right as the period ends. So you defer. Is that an automatic?
Yeah,
For you?
that's.
Now on top, what are we looking to do on top here from a breakdown?
I'd go crossbody claw ride, break them down, try to get my tilts.
Got a caution. Good call, Mike. I know you're going to be watching this. Good call. There it is.
Should have had another one.
Yeah. That's all right, though. You got a big contingent of family and friends here?
In the wrestling world?
Well, I mean, just here watching you this match.
Yeah. Yes, so we've got all of my real close buddies and then most of the family.
Because, we talk about, we done Justin's, there it is, get a count. 1, 2. We done Justin Sainers earlier in 97, 20 years, and you guys could send out Facebook group text and go live and
Today's
stuff.
world,
and Justin had to use, go to a payphone. Hey, I'm in the finals. Everybody call somebody else. We're out of bounds, so you get a count there. Looking at Kentucky's Most Wanted with that referee crew back there.
Kentucky's Most Wanted.
Yeah. The phone over America's Most Wanted will be ringing off the hook here after a while. Hear the Campbell County crowd. There it is. There it is. And, I mean, you've been on top this whole period, and you've been working the whole time. You're not just laying there. You're not just waiting for it to ride out. I mean, you're on top. You're working for turns, which is what you're supposed to do. But a lot of people get in this, they say get in the state finals, and they just kind of freeze up. And he's like, just get a 2 or 3 point lead and just be like, I'm on autopilot.
Right.
You're getting another turn there, looks like.
Yeah, and Brody, hats off to him as well. I mean, he was strong, a lot stronger than I was, and then he was keeping his elbows tight, and he was working. He wasn't laying down.
So you're going to take top again. Was that a you decision, a coach
That was
decision?
me.
Okay.
So Coach Van Kemper, I don't know. I think I'm going to say that he disagreed with my decision, but he looked at me and said, "You do what you want."
And that, like I said earlier, you know you better than give up a reversal, but I don't necessarily think you're in trouble here. Maybe not the position that you want to be in, but I don't think you're in trouble. There's a difference in wrestling, not being in the best position and being in trouble. All right, stalemate. Good call, Mike. So he's going to let you up.
I was hating it. Getting winded.
And doing this with guys, they get to this state to the finals, and they'll say, "I hated being down, but I was comfortable being down because I knew nobody could turn me.
Right.
I knew I could get to my feet. I knew I could do, this. It may not be my favorite place, but I was comfortable there." I was like, well, okay. I mean, if that's the way you feel about your wrestling. There it is. Oh, we're out. You got Josh. Now, we've done all of John Harden state champions. We've done all 5 of theirs. There's on the channel, so go back and watch them after you get done with this. But I saw Josh Johnson, 2-time state champion from John in the corner back there. So we're about a minute left to go, maybe in the last period here. Are you just saying, okay, I'm defense, or I'm going to try to go for a fall? What we looking to do?
I was riding it out. I don't like the decision. I should have just kept on trying to get some points, but I believe it was 8-2 at this point. I knew, one little hiccup, and I could really put myself in a pickle. So I was coasting and just trying to wear that time out.
He goes for a throw right there, but you're able to defend it like you should. Nothing yet. Okay, now it's, I believe, 8-4.
8-4, I believe. And that's a wrap.
That's it. He wrestled good.
Yeah,
He
hats
really
off to
did.
him.
He really did.
He was there to win it, that's for sure. He was
Come up just
a great kid.
Yeah.
Great kid, too.
Goes over, shakes coach's hand. And I love this walk coming back over. It's like, try it, baby.
Did it. I did
Don't
it.
mess with me. So, watching it back, does it play out the way you remember it?
It does.
Yeah.
Identical.
That's good. It hasn't really been that long ago, really, and compared to some of the guys we met with. Some guys you meet with from the 80s, they can tell you exactly as it's going. Some guys from like 21 or 20 are like, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
It went like that. There's no way. Like what's that called? The Mandela effect, I believe, if you will. But any closing thoughts about 2017 or your wrestling career, just anything in general?
Other than thankful for the support I had. My parents. I mean, there's nights I'm out cutting weight, 3 o'clock in the morning, night before a wrestling tournament, and my mom's there.
Yeah.
You know, she's there helping me and doing what they did what they needed to do.
Right.
I was doing what I needed to do, and you know, they worked their butts off to spend money for us kids to go and get the proper training, and you know, went to Fargo one year. That was not cheap.
I was going to say that play was free. They probably give those passes out, don't they?
Yeah, and then Virginia Beach, we did that every year. I believe that started in 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah.
We started going there every year, and you know, they did what they had to do to help us kids.
And that's more people are coming into the sport. The sport is growing across the state, and getting to meet people. This will be my 18th, as of this filming, going into my 18th season of refereeing, and people are like, you know, their kids are getting into it, and they're like, I didn't realize, you know, you had to pay to wrestle. You had to every time you go somewhere, it was an entry fee. We didn't understand that.
Right.
I was like, it takes a true commitment to the sport of wrestling if you're going to be good at it. Yes, you can be on a team in a school, but never be to your level, never be in the state championship level if you don't go to the camps, if you don't go to the off season, if you don't have a good support. Like Campbell County, I mean, I don't have the financial books in front of me, but I would have to imagine they have a good booster system. They have a good school support, and it takes all that to build a program. You can't just go in and be like, well, we're going to start a wrestling team and expect to be competing against teams like, you know, your Unions, your Paducah Tillmans, your Johnsons, your Campbell Counties, just right out of the gate. You got to build, and you got to build, and you got to build, and it takes a while. It really does. And you know what, Coach, you guys, well, you're not seeing it. We are. Coach Bancamper right there in the corner. It takes, you know, a figurehead like that. Then it takes all the assistant coaches. It takes the athletic department, parents that have been around the system, step parents, whoever it may be, former wrestlers coming back and just being around the program, showing youngsters, hey, you know, you may not take this advice to heart, but I won a state championship with this move. Why don't we try this instead? And that's how a tradition builds. That's how legacies build. And that's why we're here today doing about 12 or 13 videos, because of what Campbell County's been able to do with their program and the sacrifices that parents have made, step parents have made, whoever it is that's raising the wrestlers, because it does take a true investment, a true commitment to be successful. Well, ma'am, thank you for being here today. I really appreciate it. It's good to get this on the channel and just add another camel to the fold, if you will. That's all we got. We'll see you guys on the mats.